Welcome back. And in a significant move to safeguard public health, the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria in Akwa Ibom State has handed over expired drugs valued at over 460 million naira to the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. The expired medications were recovered from around 113 community pharmacies across Akwa Ibom State, marking a crucial step in ensuring public safety and the circulation of dangerous medications. Chairman of the ACPN in Akwa Ibom State, pharmacist Anderson Tony, emphasized the importance of regularly mopping up expired drugs, highlighting the grave health risk associated with their consumption, including critical conditions like kidney and liver damage. Well, to further make sense of this conversation, we have in the studio the chairman of the ACPN Akwa Ibom State, pharmacist Anderson Tony. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good evening, good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to today's show.
Thank you for joining. Good to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Well, let's begin. Okay.
Let's begin with pharmacist Anderson. You know, when I saw that around 113 communities, this is where those drugs were gotten from, I began to ask myself, what were those drugs still doing on the counter?
Well, the drugs that you saw there were voluntarily surrendered. They were voluntarily forfeited. No, they have expired and they have pulled it off the counter and kept, because there are some protocols. As an individual, you cannot dispose or destroy medicinal products on your own. It's against the laws of the federal government of Nigeria. So what we do as pharmacists, if we have drugs or medicines that have expired, what we do is pull it off the shelf and keep it. Now you have to keep it separated from those ones that are still eligible to be taken till such a time you're able to get it to NAFDAC, which is the only regulatory body saddled with that responsibility of...
So, talking of those procedures, what exactly are the procedures in gathering and disposing of expired drugs?
Okay, yes, ideally, every community pharmacy or every pharmacist that has expired drugs should take it to NAFDAC as soon as they're expired for forfeiture. But that does not happen because there's a major challenge there. Now, you could imagine a pharmacist that have bought products for the year, and in that year, you have expiry, say, what, 900,000, which as a responsible professional, you've decided to mop it off your shelf. By the time you take it to NAFDAC, they will not just accept it without administrative fee. You have to pay for the drugs that have already expired. Now, it's like a double tragedy. I've lost drugs from what I bought. What is going there is my capital. Exactly. And then I'm to pay money again to have my capital destroyed. So most people are reluctant to do that self-forfeiture. But what we did, as a state chairman, I gathered a lot of intelligence for a very long time. And I find out that syndicates from the open markets in Onitsha, syndicates from all the way from Idumota and even Kano. Just like you have people go around the dustbin every morning to pick things like scavengers, kind of. You also have, but this time the difference is that those syndicates that peddles expired drugs are actually billionaires and millionaires, because it's quite a very lucrative business for them. So they have their boys on the street that goes around sourcing for these drugs that have expired. As an individual, even as a chairman, this year alone I've had over 10 different persons coming to ask me, do you have expired drugs? And what they do is, if they come to you and they can't get it, they can go through your lower staffs, your security, your salesperson. Because when this drug expires, definitely you're going to keep it at one unimportant corner of the premise, because those products, they are not useful.
So what can these people do with them?
Excuse me. Your eyes will not be on it, right? Because you consider those ones unfit, those ones are waste. Your lower staff could, at any low amount of money, sneak out those products even without your knowledge. Now, I've stated the challenge. The challenge is, as this product expires, you cannot take it to the NAFDAC without being willing to pay the administrative fee that follows it. And so some look at it as a double tragedy. So they are reluctant to do so.
What happens if they destroy it by themselves?
It's against the law.
It's against the law.
And it has,
but then those are the individuals who go around picking them, like you said. What do they do with the expired?
Then they counterfeit it. When they go now, they pick it. Don't forget that the drug has expired. The pack is still new. Everything about it is intact. Just that when we talk of expiry date, these are dates given on drugs when they are manufactured by the manufacturer. Those are the guaranteed days. The manufacturer is telling you, if you take this medicine up to this particular day, month, and year, we guarantee that it is the drug moiety that are actually produced. After this date, we no longer have such guarantee anymore. That's what every manufacturer is expected to do. You tell us the day it was manufactured. You also tell us the day is no longer safe. They don't guarantee it. They are not saying it's not good, but they are saying after this day, we can't guarantee what happened next. Okay. Now, what this syndicate does is to go in and falsify it, counterfeit the expiry date. Let's take, for instance, a drug has expired 10 October 2023. It was manufactured, most of them have a lifespan of between 1 to 5 years, some are 1 to 3 years. Assuming that same drug was manufactured in 2020 to expire 2023, 10 October 2023. What they simply do is to go and play with the last three. Clean it off, make it up very carefully that you won't notice it. 3 tons 8. Don't forget that I've gone to buy it because it's expired at a worst ridiculous price. Maybe that drug, the actual value was, say, 5,000 naira. They have gone to buy it 100 naira because they'll tell it's expired. That's the profit margin. They now produce it, take it back to the open market, sell it at 3,000. The open market sees the profit, they mop it up. This act may have been carried out in Kano. The drug have got into Onitsha. From Onitsha, it gets to Akwa Ibom or any other state. See, it does not even matter where they are mopping it up because their distribution channels is from mostly the open market. Okay, so they could mop it in Akwa Ibom here and it gets to Abuja. Okay, as soon as it gets to the open market, it flies to wherever.
But then, what are the dangers this might pose to the ignorant individuals or people who are not even aware of the situation of things when they take
well,
these medications?
What you don't know, you don't know. You've bought in you've purchased the drugs and it's showing 228, whereas it expired 223. First, you don't know that it's an expired drug, but it has consequences. Consequences like you having ineffective, inefficacious treatment. You're treating for a particular ailment and they are saying, I've taken all the drugs possible and I'm still feeling unwell. Depending on the chemical, and there are some drugs that have very low therapeutic index, meaning that as soon as its potency drops by even 2%, it's gone. It can take, for instance, people that are diabetic that are on insulin, for instance, that are trying to control their blood glucose level. And insulin is just to do that. And the person is administering an IV insulin that has expired 2 years ago. What do you think of that? The person keep having an upsurge in his diabetic situation. And he's telling you, I'm taking the recommended or the prescribed insulin by the doctor. He's looking at the date, it's 228. He's looking at the fact that it came out from the refrigerator, since it has to be stored at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. That person now have an uncontrolled diabetes that leads to other complications, and then you could see even death being the end point. It happens in so many other cases of chronic disease, where you need an appropriate active ingredient to arrest a particular disease state at a point.
All right.
Maybe a cardiovascular thing, digozine. Somebody is having some cardiac issues. and need to live on digoxin. That has a very low therapeutic index. That drug is one of the most smallest tablets you could think of, but whenever they give you, they will say take 1/4. And then it has expired since. What about some eye preparations? They are preservatives. As soon as the date has expired, their preservative now start trapping bacteria. And somebody is having some eye thing that needed surgery, and they say, okay, at the main time, take so eye preparation.
All right, Mr.
And you are taking an expired drugs, and the next thing, the person turns blind even before the surgical
Mr.
time.
Anderson, I'm afraid we don't have time on our side. I wish we had that time. It was really an interesting time with you. We look forward to bringing you some other time to throw more light on these issues.
Expand the conversation, because it's not a discussion to just wrap up that way. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.